Listen, this is Obadiayahing. I'm in here with a beautiful Israelite sister, trying to educate her a little bit. What's your name?
Khadija.
That's Khadija. Ain't beautiful name, right? So anyway, what I was going to talk about is some of the stuff that's going on right now. You know what's happening in the world, right? The coronavirus, right? The earthquakes, the locusts,
I heard
all that stuff. What does that remind you of? The plagues, right?
Yep.
Egyptian plagues, right? So the Most High is pushing the plagues on it, but you notice that none of us get the coronavirus.
Right.
Only the Edomites and the white people, right?
So they say.
No, it's true.
Oh.
We don't get it.
Oh, that's great. Then.
So yeah, well, since this time the plague's being switched, it's on them instead of on us. So you hear what she said? What you said is it's great, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I got more brothers here. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing? Huh? Yeah, YouTube, man. Doing my YouTube. What's up, man?
Like
hey, y'all heard about the plague? Y'all heard about the plagues, right? Right? Y'all heard about the plagues that's going on?
No.
Come on, man. The coronavirus that's getting on the white people. Huh? You heard about that, right?
Stop being rude.
I know you heard about that, right?
Yeah, I heard about it.
What do you think about that?
And they do with me long black food.
As long as they don't get on us, right?
Yeah.
But they catching it, right? But it's time, right? Ain't it time for them to get it for a change?
Time for something.
They've been killing us and tearing us apart, right?
Yep.
So it's time for them to get it. Well, that's good, brother. I appreciate it, man. All right, listen anyway. Just doing some filming. You know, sometimes the brother be a little bit shy. They don't want to talk about it, but that's all good. It's all good, you know. Thing is, we going through it right now, but it's all right because they're going through it even worse. You know, like I said, I'm out here on the highway and byways, you know, talking to some brethren and had to make a couple errands, couple runs. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna break down some things that I think are very important that we need to address. And while I'm out waiting to do my thing, I'm gonna have to set this up here in my car. Most High was touching me about the fact that I need to address this situation here. So, you know, while I'm out here, I'm going to address it to the best of my ability. And I'm going to give y'all the word that I got from the Most High in terms of what I'm supposed to be doing and what he wants from me at this particular point. So, like I said, here I am on the highways and byways, out on the street. I mean, I'm in my vehicle, but I'm out here, and the Most High is touching me about some of the stuff that's happening right now that need to be addressed. And so, you know, they'll be going back and forth in and out of the store and everything, and you know, it's all good because that's what it's all about. We need to get right with the Most High, get right with YAHAWAH, and that's what's up. So anyway, let me get this started. I'd like to say Shalom. This is your brother Obadiayahing. I'm out running some errands today, doing some things. Had to pop in a couple store, you know, seeing some of the Hebrew Israelites, whether they are awake or not, or if they are Hebrew Israelites. You know, sometimes you don't know. But you know how Jake is. Jake, one Jake was real bashful. He didn't want to be on the film on YouTube. He didn't want to be on the recording at all, and that's fine. If he don't want to, he don't have to. You know, he turned away and did what he had to do. So today, I want to just touch on a few things I think are very important. Clearly, we know that all of what's happening right now in the world and on the earth is it's just so awesome and it's amazing. I really truly think that we as a people who are awake should be celebrating. I think we should be celebrating the fact that our time in this captivity and you know, all of the subjugation that's going on and happening to us is coming to a head. It's finishing up and it's moving real fast. And pretty soon, the Most High is going to go ahead and let YAHAWAH get here, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. And when he shows up, it's going to be more than amazing. It's going to be beyond what we can imagine. I'm pretty sure for the most part, none of the Akim and Aquab and the prophets and the brothers and the sisters who are in the truth really can imagine what it's going to be like. I mean, we got thoughts and ideas, but we really don't know. And it's just going to be beyond monumental. But one of the things we do have to get in line with and start paying attention to is the fact that we have what I guess you would call protection. We have a covering, and we need to, adhere to the covering. Clearly, I got my sword. When you out here, you better be having your sword. Okay, here's mine. I try to keep it with me when I'm traveling out, because you never know when you're gonna run across somebody and they want to talk about the word. They want to talk about scripture. They want to talk about what's real, what's not real. And so in lieu of that situation, I think that I'm going to break out some scripture and kind of relate it to what's actually happening right now with the plagues that the Most High's got on earth. I mean, we can see all this stuff happening. Like, for instance, you can see the plagues, like the locusts that are coming through South Africa and then on their way to South America, and they're just eating up all of everything. They're tearing it all up, and the way they're doing it, it's just beyond reality, man. In terms of you talking about a 30-mile long swarm of locusts that are just creating devastation to vegetation, and this is part of the famine process the Most High said He was going to bring, and we're going to tap some scriptures on that so we can bring that to light. But what I want to do first is I want to talk to Hebrew Israelites that are starting to become awake, and some that are awake as well. We have a covering. Psalms 91 talks about that specifically, and we're going to go to that scripture and we're going to read that chapter, because that's a pretty good chapter. It's an excellent chapter in reference to talking about where your protection and your covering comes from, because Psalms 91 is, to me, one of the pinnacles of coverage that a lot of people don't pay a lot of homage to and pay much attention to. Another one, my YAHAWAH, my sister, back home in Philly, she also loves Psalms 121, which is also excellent, and we'll touch that as well, because we're going to touch both of them. And I want to kind of start off with those in terms of speaking about what kind of coverage we have. But I just wanted to make sure I bring this out and tell people what's going on. What we need to pay attention to is not what they say in terms of Esau Edom and how he is covering media and perpetrating information and propaganda. Not what they say, but what they don't say. See, we have to be able to use the discernment of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, and we have to be able to discern between the lines of what the people that have us in captivity here in this place of miserum, this bondage, is Egypt, because that's basically what represents this place. If you ever take a look at the back of $1, you can clearly see the significance of the fact that we're still in Egypt. Okay, I mean, it's not hard to imagine that that's what the situation is. Okay, I think I got $1. I'm pretty sure I got $1 on me. Yeah, I do, and I can show you here what I'm talking about. I'm sure that several of the brethren have shown this pictorial before, but it's always good to show it again. As I move this in, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at that closely. Look closely at that. You see a pyramid, and you also see the symbol, that eagle, and that exact symbol is the same thing that you will see when it comes to Egypt and the land of Egypt. So this is just another representation, not only from a spiritual perspective, but also from a physical perspective in terms of how we're treated and how things are going on here. And so they're going to get double what Egypt got in the past when we were exited out of there. And they're ignoring it. They're very proud. Esau Edom is very proud and very bold and sottish, of course. And they're very much arrogant in terms of what's actually going down. And they're not paying attention to the fact that the Most High is certainly shutting down the situation. And they can't see it, and it's like they don't want to see it. But they are going to see it, and they're experiencing it. And they're terrified, because look at them. They're going out and they're buying up stuff. They're wearing the silly mask all over the place. We as a people who are the chosen people of the Most High, the Hebrew Israelites, we are not, at this point that I can see, being shown as being affected by this plague of the CMCV. I call it the caveman coronavirus, because it's more directed to the caveman here than it is to us. If any Jakes or Hebrew Israelites or Hebrews are getting it, I don't believe that they are Hebrew Israelites that are covered under the Most High in terms of his protection. Because if you're wicked and you are a wicked Jake, you have about as much protection as Esau Edom has, which is none. Unless you repent, and they can't repent, so you can. So you need to take advantage of it. And that's kind of what this message is about. I guess if I was going to title this message anything, I would say, there was a famous saying that said, to be or not to be, that is the question, right? Remember that? Okay, to be or not to be, that is the question. I'm not sure. I think William Shakespeare, who happened to be a brother, by the way, so if you want to look that up, yes, he was a Hebrew Israelite, very wise. If he said that, I'm not sure if he coined that or not. If I'm wrong, y'all can correct me when y'all send in your comments. But to be or not to be a true believer of the Most High, true believer and follower of the Most High YAHAWAH by Shem Yahawashi is very important. So you will either be one who will be chosen to make it, or you will be one who is chosen not to make it. And quite frankly, the Most High has pretty much made his choices. I truly believe that, and completely, that all the choices in reference to what position we will have as being part of the kingdom, being part of the Most High's family, has already been made. The selections have been made, because he's Alpha Omega. He's beginning to end. His choices are already made. I've also believed that the sealing that he was going to do, in terms of put a seal on those that he has selected, the elect as well as the very elect, I believe also that those individuals have been, decisions have been made about them as well. So I don't believe that there's anybody who is not already predestined. Romans, chapter 8 tells you that, verse 28, or was it? Yeah, I think, or Romans 9:28. It tells you that, Shalaki, if I didn't get that one right, but I'm pretty sure I did. That he predestined, and those he predestined he foreknew. Those he foreknew he justified, and those he justified he sanctified. So there is predestination. There is what we would call regeneration. A lot of people call it reincarnation, but we who are in the truth call it regeneration, and that's important. But I do want to get on to where our protection is and why we have protection, and so let's talk about that. Let's get to it. I'm gonna go to Psalms 91. I think that's something that we all should be not only memorizing and rehearsing it in our minds, our spirit, and in our soul, but we should be speaking this to our children, we who are in the truth with us, our family members who are in the truth, or maybe if they're not in the truth, they still need this to be spoken to them heavily, and that's completely important. So let's hit Psalms 91. Psalms 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God, or my power. In him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome of pestilence. See, so that he's already telling you right out the starting gate that the Most High he's our shelter. Okay, he's our protection. You know, he's going to deliver us. He's our refuge, and our fortress. That is awesome, and the Most High can't lie. So he's telling you, if you are of him and his spirit is in you, you have coverage. 4, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. See that? So anything that happens at night, that if the flood of Esau Edom comes against the Hebrew Israelites, the Most High he's put up this standard. This is the standard he put up against them already, and he's enacting the standard at this present time. You can see that that's the case. Okay, so that's without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, also it says here, all right, 5, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come unto near thee. Okay, so you can see right now as they fall down and they get destroyed, and as Esau Edom goes down, and as things start to transpire and happen to his kingdom and himself, they're going to be falling thousands. This CMCV is going to start taking thousands of them down, but it's not directed to us. Number 8, okay, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So the Most High is letting us see the caveman coronavirus take people down, take these jokers down big time. You see what I'm saying? Because thou hast made YAHAWAH, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. See, the Most High said there's no plague gonna come near our dwelling. It's not gonna come near us. His word is true. I believe it wholeheartedly, I mean completely, and whoever's in the truth, y'all need to believe that he said, I'll read that again, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. See, they're walking around and they're all in the stores buying up train loads of shopping carts of toilet paper and hand sanitizer and towels and cleaning products and trying to get masks. None of that stuff's going to protect you if you're not under the protection of the Most High. It doesn't matter what you buy. No earthly product is going to produce or save you. And I don't care what they try to do in terms of vaccines or any kind of thing that they're working on, simply because this particular CMCV, this caveman coronavirus, stays with you forever like herpes, man. Once you get it, you can't get rid of it. And the Most High will let it stay dormant, and then all of a sudden it'll pop up and be worse than it was before. So it's mutating. So unless you think you can produce a vaccine that will mutate along with this particular virus situation, there's no protection unless you have the protection of the Most High. Okay, all right, Shalaki, let's finish. Okay, 9, because thou hast made YAHAWAH, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. 10, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And see, that's important right now too, because just above the atmosphere, and there's plenty of pictures and information that's on YouTube. Gina Marie Calvin is posting stuff like crazy because the Most High has given her the blessing to post stuff. The most recent one was a wheel that was flying through space that was bigger than the Earth. See, that would be the ship that the Most High has sent YAHAWAH on, that's coming into picture right now, coming into the scene, and we not even paying much attention, but the government knows, and they terrified of the whole situation. Okay, let me finish here. Let me finish up on here. 12. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone, which basically is telling you you have protection if something befalls you or comes near you that you did not set in motion, or you did not purposely go into the line of fire. You did not purposely walk into danger. If you happenstance get into a dangerous situation, the Most High will bear thee up and take care of you if your foot gets dashed against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion, the adder, the young lion, and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he has set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. See, and that's important. He says he has known my name. It's not Yeshua. It's not Jesus. It's not Yahweh. It's not El Shaddai. It's not any of that. His name is Yahawah, okay? And the son is Yahawashi. And if you're not calling upon that name, then he's not answering you, and whatever you're into is going to just deal with you, because that's not the name. Unless you know the name, you're in trouble. Yahawah, Bashem, Yahawashi. That's what you need to know. And if you don't know that, you're in trouble. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. This is what YAHAWAH is saying. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So that's Psalms 91. That's clearly showing you that the Most High is protecting and working with those that he has selected for his salvation. Now let's go to Psalms 121, and let's read that. That's a short one before we pop into some of the other scriptures to back up what I'm saying. All right, Psalms 121. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from YAHAWAH, the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Now see, he said Israel. That's specific. He's not talking about the world. He's not talking about Esau. He's not talking about some heathen Gentiles that found out, got our word and twisted it up and tried to write themselves in. That's not for you. You got to understand that this is not for you. Now, you may be salvaged, but you're not getting salvation in the manner that is the Hebrew Israelites are getting. Israel is specific. Okay, that is the entire 12 tribes. When we say all of Israel, well, Judah is just one of the tribes. Yes, we are sometimes called Jews and also called Israel, but we are all the tribes of Israel. Okay, now finishing up 5. YAHAWAH is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Now, who does the sun smite during the day? The Edomite. He gets smited by the sun. The sun causes him all kinds of problems. Cancer, skin lesions, boils. This is not no mystery. You can go and pull this up yourself and see for yourself that this is the case. Okay? It says here, 7. YAHAWAH shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. 8. YAHAWAH, the Lord YAHAWAH shall preserve thy goings out and thy comings in from this time forth and even forevermore. So you can clearly see that that's what's going on, and that's without the shadow of a doubt, and that's what we need to be looking forward to, is what the Most High is going to be doing for us. Now let's pull a couple more scriptures. Let's go to Exodus and talk about some of these plagues that's happening to Esau, Edom, and the rest of the heathens in the world, because it's important to know what's going down. So let's go to Exodus chapter 9, and we're going to read at about 14, and well, yeah, and then we'll go to 4. So let's go to 9. All right, and we're going to go 14, right? Exodus 9:14. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For I will stretch out my hand that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. Okay? So you can see that the Most High, he has decided to plague the Esau and the Edomites and the heathen in this earth. He's tearing Moab up. He's killing a bunch of them, and also the Amorites and anyone else that is not a Hebrew Israelite. Can there be some Hebrew Israelites in that area? That is very true. But you can see who's being taken down from this. So the Most High is not playing. Let's go to Exodus chapter 4. Okay, where is it? Shalaki. And we're going to read 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. See, the Most High is not playing. They don't want to let us go. And pretty soon, I believe they'll start raising up against us, because when they see that this particular caveman coronavirus is not coming after us and not doing that, they're going to want to know what it is that we have in us that makes us immune to this situation. They're going to try to harvest it in a way where they can possibly use it. That won't work, because when they come at us in that way, the Most High going to put a standard up against them, and they're going to see some things they don't want to experience if they go to that point and try to take us in or kidnap anybody of our people and try to see how they can find what we have in us that's making us not subjected to this caveman coronavirus. But we got to be protected, and we are through the Most High, and you have to believe that in order to be protected. Okay, now let's go to let's go to Jeremiah. Let's see. Jeremiah chapter 23. I want to hit 29 real quick, and then we're going to pop through quite a few more scriptures here. All right, Jeremiah. Here I am, 23. Jeremiah 23 and 29. Got it. All right, here we go. And it is not my word like as fire. Is not my word like as fire? Question saith Yahawah the Lord, and like the hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. The Father's dropping the hammer on this earth, and I mean, once the hammer is fully dropped, you're going to see something that you ain't never seen before that is happening, and this is going to be unlike anything we've seen, even what happened with Egypt in history. Okay, all right. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahawah the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord Yahawah, that use their tongues and say, he saith. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, and saith Yahawah the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, he said, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahawah power. And when this people, or the prophets, or the priest, shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of the Lord? Question of Yahawah. Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? Question. I will even forsake you, saith Yahawah power. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people, and that shall say, the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house. And see, this is what you see happening right now. A lot of these fake, phony religious practitioners, you know, like your TD Snakes is and your leftover dollar, and you know, and your effeminate Joel Osteen and all these liars. They're lying to the people, trying to tell them everything's going to be peaceful, everything's going to be fine. Snake oil salesmen out here, Pat Robertson and all these cats, man, they're selling stuff. The swagger guy, Jimmy whoever, he's trying to sell some kind of solution that's supposed to protect you from the caveman coronavirus. None of that stuff is going to work, man. This stuff is crap, man. They need to forget it, because like you said, that's not going to come against them. Why are they not getting their help from their fake white Jesus? How come they're not calling on their so-called Jesus Christ on television, or you know, what's going on? Why aren't they coming to him to deliver them from these plagues? None of that stopping. So clearly all that stuff is not working and it's fake, okay? Let's finish 35. Thus shall ye say everyone to his neighbor and everyone to his brother, what hath the Lord Yahawah answered, and what hath the Lord Yahawah spoken? Question in question. And the burden of the Lord shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living power, of the living God, of Yahawah, the Lord of hosts, our power, our God. Thus shall say to the prophet, what hath the Lord answered thee? Question. And what hath the Lord spoken? And he hadn't spoken anything to any of them, okay? But since ye say the burden of the Lord, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahawah, because ye say this word, the burden of Yahawah the Lord, and I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say the burden of the Lord Yahawah. Therefore, behold, I, even I, will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you in the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten. See, if you're out here lying, whether you're a Jake or a Hebrew Israelite or a religious practitioner from one of these fake phony religions, he's not going to forget and forgive you for what you're doing. You're going to have to pay for this. And the payment is coming due really fast. Okay, let's go to, I want to shoot over to Matthew for those New Testament only people, because they need to know what's going on, and we need to go ahead and tap them a little bit in reference to the truth, because they think that they got a deliverance coming that they're not going to get. I'm talking about, you need to understand, the Most High has a select people that he's chosen to deliver, and that's who he's going to deliver, and none else. 24/7. Okay, all right. For a nation shall rise against nation, and a kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows, and shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated among all nations for my name's sake. Okay, so the Most High is telling you that we know that Jacob's trouble's coming. We know that we're going to have to suffer and go through the fire, and there will be some who will be delivered up. Who knows, me, whoever, but we just got to deal with that, because that's part of the prophecy that's going to happen, but we will be delivered from that. Okay, let me finish and say that. Okay, it says here, okay, and all these are the beginnings of sorrows, and then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, and see, that's important to know, because there's going to be Jacob's trouble that's going to have some of the people who's supposed to be in the truth fall away. They're going to take the mark of the beast, the microchip. They're going to let their family and friends influence them to turn away from the Most High, and some of their family and friends are going to turn on them, and that may produce them to do something that they will regret, because they will lose their salvation. Be very much afraid of who can destroy both spirit and soul in hell, and that's the Most High. And if they don't pay attention to that, they will find that to be the case. Now I'm going to pop over to Isaiah for a minute here. I want to go to Isaiah 34, because there's a controversy, okay? And the controversy is about Zion and in Zion. And I did a study on this, and it's one of the lessons that I think that, you know, if you get an opportunity, you might want to look it up and check it out, because the controversy of Zion is big time. And the book of Obadiah speaks heavily to the controversy of Zion. Chapter 34 is real good on that, and talks about Esau, Edom in it. It also talks about Psalms 83 in it. That particular chapter is big in terms of giving us the breakdown on the controversy in Zion. But where I'm going is, I'm going to Isaiah chapter 34, and I'm going to hit at verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord, of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Okay, and that controversy, as I said, is related to Psalms 83, because you notice all of the nations right now, primarily that, and I did this part of the study also in the last study I did on the big payback by YAHAWAH. These nations that are catching the caveman coronavirus and being shut down by YAHAWAH are a direct reflection of Psalms 83 and those nations that have been coming against the Most High's chosen children, which are us, the Hebrew Israelites. And as they continue to do things to us and go at us to shut us down in the way they are, the more things that are happening to them on a very harsh basis. Now, from here, we're going to go on over to Second Ezra, which is one of my favorite books. I love Second Ezra, man. I mean, if you ain't got an Apocrypha and you can get into Second Ezra, man, you're going to be lost in the sauce, baby, because you need to be in that part of the book. We're going to go into Second Ezra, and we're going to hit chapter 15, and we're going to start reading at 12, and then we're also going to do 16, and, well, we're going to get 49 and 15 too, but let's just do 12 first, okay? Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 12, okay? So we're going to read that, and it says here, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that YAHAWAH power shall bring upon it. Okay, we're talking about America on the earth right now and what's happening to them. And that's what we're seeing happen to them right now. That they need to get this. The so-called white man, Esau Edom, he has killed and destroyed just about everything on the earth. Polluted the water, polluted the air, polluted the food with GMOs, polluted the people with pharmaceuticals and all kinds of things, and he has not paid for anything. Nothing has been recompensed yet. Well, the Most High is recompensing him now, and he's acting like he don't deserve it, and he's acting like he don't understand why it's happening. But all of it's right here in the Bible that they say they believe. He won't even go in there and read it to find out what's going on with him. And as we read it on the highways and byways and on the YouTube lessons and what have you, he'll look at it. And I know he knows this. And most of the oligarchs, that 1% who are allowed to be the wicked in Job chapter 9:24, who are running this world, they ran to their bunkers. They're out, man. You see the CEOs and stuff have been quitting these giant companies and taking their golden parachutes, and they're running and they're hiding, but they can't hide from the Most High. Don't matter where they go, they're going to be sought out, and the angels will pull them out, and they will be paying for everything that they've done. Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Okay, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, when the heat shall rise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastened with wounds, so that the mighty, the lovers, shall not be able to receive thee. Okay, so the Most High is pushing the to be or not to be. That is the question. And what you are to be is what he designated you to be. That's why if you joining up with Esau Edom, that is who you are to be. And to not be, meaning you must be standing on this side, because when Moses came down from the mountain and he told them, those who are on the Lord's side, stand here with me. Opposite that, you even had there was Hebrew Israelites, man, wicked ones, man, like in First Maccabees. Once the Lord opened up Karen in the earth, they fell in and they were destroyed. The Most High is not playing. He is not playing. You heard it, Second Ezra chapter 15:49. Now we're going to 16 and we're going to read 3. All right. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Who's going to do that? Okay. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? You see what I'm saying? The Most High sent this. You can't stop this. I don't care what kind of vaccines you bring out. I don't care what kind of information you pull forward. You're not going to stop what the Most High's got going. Maccabees chapter 144. You can go there and you need to read that. That backs up Isaiah 34:8. And we're going to close here with Revelation, which is where we need to go, because that'll be perfect. Revelation chapter 8. Revelation chapter 11. And we're going to read verse 8. So let's go to 11:8, and that will conclude this one that the Most High gave me to give you today. And that's where we are. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord YAHAWAH Bashem, Yahawashi Hamashiach, was crucified. And they of the people and the kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over him that make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3.5 days, the spirit of life from YAHAWAH power entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. A great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. See the chariots just above the atmosphere, and they're coming to pull us out of here. And their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted, and gave glory to YAHAWAH power of heaven. So, on that note, I want to say Shalom, and I hope that you enjoyed that kind of short lesson while I was out and about here, running some errands, and just took time to just stop and do it. And just stay tuned for the next one that the Most High gives me, whenever he does give it. And just want to tell all of you Hebrew Israelites who are in the truth, stay strong, stay prayed up, stay fasting and praying, study that word, get in there and break down your precepts and break down the scripture. And you need to meditate on it and think about the fact that the Most High is gracious enough to not put you under the plagues that are going on in this earth and this world right now. Shalaki and Shalom. And as one of my good brothers from the Great Millstone chapter in Chicago will say, and about the ball.